The energy sector and the big miners helped the local market higher today. For the details, earlier I spoke with Martin Lakos from Macquarie Private Wealth. Well, Martin Lakos, no escaping the shadow of the European crisis. How has it played out on the local market today?
Well, we've had ongoing rebounds in markets all around the world. Tiki, last night European markets were up between 4 and 5%. It does look like policymakers are starting to get it, that they need to be getting some action going. And it does appear that Tim Geithner, the US Treasury Secretary, was also saying that European governments are starting to head in the right direction. So that's all. Markets continue to rally from pretty oversold positions, and probably a good portion of that rally is short covering. There's absolutely no doubt about that. US market was up nearly 320 odd points at one stage, closing up 146. Slightly disappointing consumer confidence numbers, but slightly up, but not as much as it had been anticipated. In our time zone, up about 35 points near the close. We had been better. Turnover about $6 billion, so increasing volumes. What did take the gloss off, Tiki, we had Shanghai and Hong Kong markets down about 1%, with concerns that the recent monetary policy tightening in China and credit growth tightening is actually starting to seriously impact property prices and property sale volumes. So we might see a little bit more on that.
Indeed. Well, to go to local company news, how have investors reacted to the news of Wesfarmers' sale of its Premier Coal business?
Yeah, the Premier Coal mine in Collie, West Australia, was sold for about $296 million. They'll post a $90 million pre-tax profit on the back of that. They've still got two other key coal assets, being Bangala and obviously Curragh, and they combined will produce about 8 million tonnes of coal. So they're not exiting the industry altogether. But it does beg the question, a company like Wesfarmers, why are they selling? It may well be that they're seeing peak prices and they can get a good sale price.
All right, I see the green light has been given to SAB Miller for its takeover of Foster's by the competition regulator. I suppose that was expected.
Yeah, very much expected, although the ACCC made it well known that they did a fairly intensive search, speaking to suppliers, competing breweries, the retail sector that sells brewing and wine products, obviously, well, not wine products anymore, brewing products, and so a fairly comprehensive review, and they've given it the green light. So that's good, obviously good news both for Foster shareholders and for SA Brewing. They see no change in the competitive environment.
Yesterday it was Goodman Fielder. Today it's Paladin Energy going to the market with a capital raising.
Yeah, uranium miner Paladin have come in with a $70 million capital raising. It's an institutional raising. The pricing is being set by a book build based on roughly a 10% discount to the previous closing price, which was $1.31. The stock was suspended today, so it didn't trade. Last trade $1.31. They've noted the capital raising is to support the balance sheet. They're seeing some cost blowouts in one of their projects, and clearly they're wanting to make sure the balance sheet is in good shape ahead of a maturity of some US converting bonds that take place in March 2013.
Martin Lakos, thank you very much for joining us again.
Thanks, Tiki. Always a pleasure.
To the other major movers on the local share market now, and APN News and Media has reaffirmed guidance and says it sees some encouraging signs in the advertising market. Nevertheless, it's down more than 3%. Alchemia says its leading cancer treatment product is showing promising signs. It's been rewarded with a 9% gain. Tasmania's environment watchdog has given the go-ahead to Gunn's Tamar Valley pulp mill. The company is in a trading halt, and so too, as Martin Lakos said, is uranium miner Paladin Energy, which has announced a $70 million capital raising. Turning to the currency markets, and the Australian dollar is getting a lift at 99 US cents. Earlier it was down against all of its 16 major counterparts. On to the commodity markets now, and in New York, oil's about $1 higher than it was this time last night. Gold's put on around 120 US dollars since hitting a 2-month low on Monday, and copper's giving up some of yesterday's gains.